Well, my friends, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a fresh episode of FM22's The Hall of Famer. And today we do part 1 of season 14 of the series. If you're not aware, we've changed up the format of the series for the foreseeable future, basically until its end. We've kind of got to a point with West Ham where we've done it all, so now I'm condensing the seasons into 2 or 3 episodes and we're going to begin season 14 today. The last episode of season 13 is above. Feel free to go and check that one out, but it was a successful season. Today, though, I'm going to show you where they think we're going to finish in the Premier League, the transfers, and the 2 games that we've played at the beginning of the season, the Community Shield and the Super Cup. And I guess first things first, we should deal with the transfers. Let me show you the players I've brought in and the players I've allowed to leave for the coming season. So if we're talking about the outs first, you're going to see we have amassed £230 million in this summer transfer window. We received a humongous offer for one of our centre-backs, and we couldn't say no. It's just such silly money. I've never seen an offer like it. But Ruben Kappa now plays for Bayern Munich, and they paid 150 million Great English pounds up front for this player. It's actually insane. We had paid 55 million. We did have, obviously, some more fees to pay when he made 50 Premier League appearances and stuff. He wasn't far off, was he? I actually don't hate the player. I thought his first season was a bit slow. Last season, he was a lot better. But 150 million pounds for a centre-back is just insane money. And I think it's money we couldn't turn down. So we decided to sell Ruben Kappa on. As far as the rest of the transfers are concerned, you're going to see Kit Kennelly, this is a new signing, gone out on loan, so is Kolobini. Matteo Bodovic never really got going, did he? We bought him in as a youngster. He's 22 years of age now. I didn't really think he was going to make the cut as a first team player, so we cashed in 25 million for the youngster. Was getting better, but I just felt like we had better at the football club. We sold Peter Walker to Wolves. He was a young player, a prospect, but he didn't want to sign a new deal, so we cashed in. And then as far as the other signings, you're going to see Edwin Rosas, Zuhair Adrisi, both gone out on loan again. Simitas Malada, they've gone out on loan. We've got Felix Dold going out on loan again. Alberto Garay, our backup right back, has left the football club. He went to Atletico Madrid for £50 million. We made an insane amount of money, didn't we, over this transfer window. But we'd kind of got to a point where they'd outgrown their squad rotational status. So we had to start moving players on. And unfortunately, Alberto Garay was one of them. He's left the football club as well. Bit gutted to lose him because he was Mr. Consistent out there. We've loaned Diabate out again, Ray Reyes, Farmer, Jackson, Cimino, Knowles, Robles, and there's obviously Reich and Perea who have gone out on loan. Apologies for that. The wind has just closed the door. Yes, it's like I got a ghost in the house. And Perea, there's some players there that obviously you've not been introduced to yet that have gone out on loan as well. Now, the players that have come into the football club, just the 4 this season, ladies and gentlemen, and it's interesting. I feel like there's more than 4, to be honest with you, though. Yes, there is more than 4. There's a few over on this page. Yes, I totally forgot about that. So, yes, there's actually 8. I don't know why I said 4. I definitely knew there was more than that. Anyway, the first one is that of Peleg Sabag. £2 million we paid for this Israeli attacking midfielder. He's gone straight out on loan to Apoel. He didn't have a work permit, but £2 million for this player. I think overall he looks pretty decent. Can play a number of roles, out left, up top as well. Attacking midfield is his preferred option, but a very good looking 18-year-old prospect. Next up, I'm going to introduce you to Federico Perea for £4.5 million. Now, this is one I think has got a big future at the club. He is a striker. Now, I know what you're probably all sitting there thinking. You didn't need a striker. You've got Makoko. You've got Milcent. Yes, but it's always good to have young options coming through. And 18 years of age, if we can develop him over the next couple of seasons out on loan, I think he is going to be an absolute beast at the football club for the money we've paid for him. Next up, I'm going to introduce you to Leon Boxleitner. He's a new centre-back for the football club. £25 million up front, £50 million with the add-ons. And this is what we've bought for our money. Basically, we needed to replace Ruben Kappa, and this is the man I'm doing it with. Now, I needed a ball-playing defender, and although his passing isn't great, I actually think he can do it. I really do. I think all the rest of the attributes are pretty solid. The first touch and the passing just needs some work, but I actually think he can do the ball playing defender for us. Really good looking signing, that one. And young again. Mauro Cimino is a new signing, £5.75 million from Boca Juniors. It was a minimum fee release clause. He's another youngster. We've kind of reached the point at West Ham where our first team is elite. So it's about growing youth prospects now. It's about nurturing younger players to come through at the football club. And yeah, it's a lot of money spent. We've sent him out on loan. I'm hoping he's going to develop quite nicely. But yeah, we got ourselves a new winger with Cimino. Then we will now move into the next page of the transfers, and it will make more sense now. Alberta Schuster is a signing that's come in from Bologna on a free transfer. Obviously, we sold Szoboszlai last year, and we needed a bit of a backup replacement, and I feel like Alberta Schuster is going to do just that. Austrian midfielder, 24 years of age. He hasn't quite reached the level we needed him to. He's been at Bologna for some time. He was at Sturm Graz, and when we were at Graza, I was keeping an eye on him, but once he moved, we couldn't afford him. So we bought him to West Ham instead. We're going to see what he's going to do. Pavel Ovchinnikov, I think is how we're saying that. Ovchinnikov is how, I think that's how that's being pronounced. 18 million, 33 million pound with the add-ons. I'm not sure if he's going to go out on loan or not. I'm going to keep him around for now, but we'll wait and see. He's actually listed as a squad player on quite a high wage, but at 19 years of age, he looks a pretty special player, doesn't he? Can play in those attacking midfield positions. I actually think if you could get his tackling up, he'd be a pretty good box-to-box midfielder, in my opinion. If I was to just show you if it will have that as an option. So I actually think, because a lot of them are 10s, yeah, I think he would be good. It's just that tackling that's letting him down. But yeah, there's some options to maybe nurture him into some different roles. Then we've got Alex Pangalas. He is coming in as our new backup right back, basically. It's a relatively low fee paid for the player. The wages weren't too bad either, and I think it just made sense. It's 10.75 million up front, potentially going to just under 16 million. And then the last one we've done is Roman Raichu. Is a player who's gone out on loan. £1 million we paid for him, and he comes in from Kaiserslautern. Hasn't got a work permit, so we've had to send him out on loan. But yeah, I think he's a player who looks pretty good across the board as well, with plenty of ability already. That's the transfer window. What did you make of it? So I'm going to quickly show you the season preview for this year in the Premier League, and then I'm going to play the two games before showing you the rest of the competitions. I have already obviously drawn the Champions League group stage and all that good stuff, but we'll catch up on that after the games. Now, the Premier League, we are noted as favourites once again. I believe we're going after our fourth Premier League in a row this season. So, yeah, we are very, very dominant, and the media obviously think so too. As you can see, Cruz, Afonso, Raisha, Wright, Yaya, Novale, Makoko, all in the best 11 as well. We're becoming a rather good team in the Premier League. And so here we go, gang, for the Community Shield final. We are taking on Manchester City this year, and I'm hoping for a good result. As you all know by now, obviously I'm playing through the seasons in my own time. This is not being recorded live. I'm literally just commentating over the top. But after a really successful season last year, we go again, and we're going to try and win all the trophies that we can. There are 6 available, the same as there were last season. We only won 5 last year. Can we win 6 this time around? But this is cup number 1. We've got to start by trying to win this. Now, every piece of silverware is so important where the series is concerned, as you all know, because it's the only way we're going to mooch on up the Hall of Fame list. I realise I didn't show you where we are in the Hall of Fame for last season. And, oh, that's a good save from the goalkeeper early doors in the game. But, yeah, I feel like that's something I need to do before we leave today's episode. But I think what we'll do is we'll play the 2 finals, and I will show you how it looks at the end, because then we can add these 2 cups and you can get a real feel for where we are in that Hall of Fame and how much work still needs to be done for us to potentially topple Sir Alex Ferguson at the top. As you can see, another highlight is incoming. Very dominant display by West Ham at the moment. We go wide into Cruz. Ball comes in. It's a bit of a crap ball, to be fair. Then it's into Yaya. He unleashes a shot. Low, hard, past the keeper. It's 1-0 to West Ham. And that is just what the doctor ordered. Yaya Tunk is starting to look a real animal, isn't he, in the attacking areas of the pitch. As you can see, the team, ladies and gentlemen, there's probably some names in there you might not recognise. Nascimento being one of them. He is a player we bought a long time ago. I've nurtured him, put him through, and he's doing some really good stuff at the back for us at the moment. He's a natural, ball-playing defender as well. I'm absolutely loving the work that he's doing. As far as everybody else, I think they're probably all players that you know and love very, very much. They're all still here, basically. Unless I get super money for a player, I don't really want to sell them if they're involved in the first team. I absolutely love the team we've put together as Nicholas Wright drives up the wing. And this is really good passing again. And there's Cruz with a ball. The header, though, from Sabanda is straight at Russo, the goalkeeper. The highlight looks as though it's going to continue, which is usually a little strange. But that's well dealt with by our defence. Novelay loses the ball, though. He dilly-dallied on that like David Moyes does in the transfer window. There's a ball through. And Manchester City make it 1-1 through Fernandez, the striker who I wanted before we got Makoko. But there you have it. Who actually got the better end of the deal? Probably us. Mr. Makoko, mate. He's unbelievable. Milsen's actually started this final. I think he's just as good. So we got to give him game time, basically. But we're rattling on in this game, and we're going to be at half-time really soon. But are we going to finish the half by scoring a goal, going ahead, and getting the perfect half-time treat? As the ball gets knocked around, it's really good stuff from West Ham. It's into Novelay now, into Milsen. He finds Kabamba, who's driving on through. He's been forced wide, but he's got the crossing ability. And unfortunately, Novelay can't keep the header down, which is not a surprise. Even though he's a giant of a man, he just doesn't score that many goals. It's unfortunate, but it's just part of his game. It's half time. It's 1-1. It's now going to be a time to get into the players and then just send them straight back out and get the job done in the second half. It's a tight affair, as you can see on the shot count, pretty even. We're just on top of possession. But throwing here to West Ham early doors in the second half, and it's going to be Nicholas Wright running at his fullback. Good ball in. Sabanda's there. He digs it back in, and I was digging Simeon Novelay out for his heading ability, and he goes and gets his big old forehead on that one and makes it 2-1 to West Ham in the Community Shield final. This is a cup, to be honest, as well, that we've been very successful in since we've started competing in it. Rarely do we lose this. We take it seriously. I noticed that a lot of teams really rotate, but I take every single cup seriously. And the reason I do is obviously because of the nature of the series game. We have to take everything super seriously. 60 minutes though on the clock. And it's time to do some tactical tweaks and potentially make our first substitution of the game. Well, no, it's not going to be substitution time. Obviously, this is the difficult part about having played the game already and then having to come in and commentate over the top. The joys, eh? But yeah, we're looking okay now. But Manchester City with the free kick, and that's an unbelievable save from Andre Gomez. That looked nailed on to be 2-2. But the big Portuguese goalkeeper keeps it out. And as I say, every single week, he's probably the signing of the series. Yes, I know we've got Milsen and we've got Makoko score ridiculous amounts of goals, but he is the man between the sticks who keeps them out, and that's super important. Your defence is just as important as your attack. But here we go, we're on the ball. That's a good pass into Makoko. Now into Yaya. He comes forward. That's a beautiful ball. It's into Makoko. He went for a cheeky chip. And that is the cheekiest of chips because the keeper was barely off his line. The ball comes back out with Manchester City, who are building from the back quite beautifully, but that's headed and it's dealt with. And it's Yaya into Nicholas Wright. It's into Makoko. Out to Cruz. He comes back into Alfonso. Now into Cruz again. It's going forward. It's into Makoko and he's got a score. It's Yusufu Makoko with a goal. He absolutely loves it, doesn't he? He scores bags and bags of goals. He scored 58 last season. That's the tally to beat this year. Can he get into the 60s this season? We will have to wait and see. It's getting knocked about quite well by City again, though, as they do come wide. But we just need to defend this. And that's a good ball through. And that's really good defended in the end. The keeper came for it, and it was a bit of a worry. Marvellous Samander's going to make way. And that's going to be for Quartez out on the left. And we're also going to bring... I don't actually know who we just brought on there. Who did we bring on? Oh, yeah. Ovchinnikov has come on as well. A couple of good substitutions late on in the game. We've got so many options off the bench that I think teams can really, really get hurt by our strength in depth. Something that West Ham don't have in real life that I wish they did. But, impact players from the bench. But we're just doing some tactical tweaks, making sure even at 3-1 that Manchester City are not going to hurt us in the remainder of this game. 85th minute, there's not long to go. It's looking as though the Community Shield is remaining in East London, as that's a throw-in. And it's into Quartez, back to Ovnichov. It's into Quartez! And the two substitutes combine to put 4 past Manchester City, the team that were dominating English football when I took over at West Ham, are now being dominated by the new force in English football, little old West Ham United. And again, we're on the ball as we win it back. Are we going to score a 5th in this game? That's a good ball through to Yaya. He's going to find Makoko. And unbelievably, Makoko shoots wide by quite some margin as well. That looked nailed on for a 5th, didn't it? But we're into the injury time now. It's going to be West Ham's trophy. It's going to be an amazing day at the office, an amazing day out at Wembley for the fans. And it has been pretty easy going in the second half. Even Steven on the stats, but not on the score. We now move into the Uefa Super Cup final, ladies and gentlemen, and we are taking on Bayern Munich. So we could potentially see Ruben Kappa make an appearance in this one, and we do. As you can see at the back, Ruben Kappa is playing centre-back next to Nianzou. They've got a pretty ridiculous team of Bayern Munich, even if a few of their players are starting to age a little now. But Jonas Dietrich up front is one to keep an eye on. I have been keeping an eye on him for a while. He's a world-class striker. And I know it might seem a bit absurd that I am still watching strikers, but you just never know when a player could go, I want to leave, I want out. And Bayern Munich have actually been watching Makoko for some time. And, I feel like a move back to Germany might be just what he wants. A penalty to Bayern early doors in the game. And this could be a disastrous start for us if Havertz puts it away. He doesn't. I don't actually know if that was saved at the post or what, but Havertz misses the penalty and West Ham get away with one early doors in the game. As you can see, it's anything but exciting. 15 minutes gone and just 2 shots registered in the game. We probably need to see a bit more in this one. They're 2 really good teams, though, as I've already said, and they might just cancel each other out. I think Bayern are pretty close to where we are at the moment. I know we've played them a fair amount over time. We've got a good record against them, but they are slowly building a really, really good team that can sort of challenge ours. Like, they dominate the German division, but not so much other competitions, basically. But they obviously would have won the Europa League last year. But that must be seen as a bit of a disappointment for the German club, considering that usually they win in the Champions League. So whatever happened to their season last year wasn't very good. But this first half isn't very good either. As you can see, we're slightly on top with the shots. Possession's pretty even Steven between the two clubs, but it's a really difficult game to really guess what's going to happen from what we've seen so far in it. After this game, obviously, we're going to take a look at the fixtures, the Premier League and whatnot, and just close this out. And I will obviously finish by potentially sort of showing you how the Hall of Fame looks. Hopefully, it will be a vast improvement with a couple more trophies added to it. But there's some good passing from West Ham as Makoko goes through one-on-one, and it can't be done. It can't be put away by the player. It's one of those things. It's a ball coming in though, headed out, easy peasy, lemon squeezy for their defence right there. And it's going to be half time. And I think both teams will be going in at half time with a little bit of disappointment. It does have to be said. It's not been the greatest half of football, has it, ladies and gentlemen? But there's room for improvement for both. Can they both improve massively in this second half? 50 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes already elapsed in this second half of the game, and there's just not much to shout about. There's not much to talk about. It's pretty difficult, to be honest, if you're sitting here with this pre-recorded game when it's as much of a bore fest as this one seems to be. That's a ball inside. It's dealt with relatively well, to be fair. We're going to try and get there. We don't. There's a ball through, though, to Makoko, and the shot is high and wide. It's over the bar. It's not good. We're going to make some substitutions. Sabanda's going to be the first for Nahu Cortez. It's always a go-to substitution for me when Sabanda isn't getting into the game. Free kick, though, there into Cortez. He comes back to Novelay. It's into Cortez again. Around the corner to Makoko. He's the man delivering. He does, and it's a good save. Or was it offside? I'm really not sure. I can't work it out, but it's another shot for West Ham, and they're starting to add up, aren't they? They're starting to tally up those shots, but we just can't break the deadlock. Santa Maria, their goalkeeper, is having a good game, so he's clearly keeping out all of the other shots that we're not seeing. Bayern Munich have just had 3 shots in the game. They are not playing particularly well, but with it still being 0-0, this game is anyone's for the takings. Declan Rice is going to come into the midfield. We're going to bring Nascimento on for Yaya Tunk. We've got some energy level problems because these games are coming thick and fast amongst Premier League fixtures and whatnot. We are going to send the team back out there with just over 20 minutes to go. We've got a free kick, a good ball in, a good header, but it can't be dispatched and put in the back of the net. Are West Ham going to kick themselves with all of these missed chances in this Super Cup? Last year, you will remember, we absolutely flew into a 4-0 lead. But there we go, there's a ball through, and oh my God, I can't believe he's missed. I can't believe he's missed. It's an unbelievable opportunity for West Ham to go and score. It's not to be. There's 20 minutes to go. The yellow cards are starting to tot up. That's a bit of a problem. We've now got a free kick to Bayern Munich at the other end. It's Lepresti, and Lepresti goes for goal. It's over the crossbar. That's just their 4th shot in the game. Time is ticking on. We're getting into the business end of this fixture now as we do get to the last 15 minutes of it. We need to do a little bit of work. They've made some substitutions. We don't want to let ourselves down by letting them through. Is this going to be one of those empty dead highlights? I'm not sure. We'll stick with it because Cortez is coming forward with the ball. That's going to come back into Novelay. That's a good ball into the box, and it's a relatively easy header for the keeper to deal with. It goes out for a corner though, and we're going to obviously not stick with the corner. Free kick here to Bayern Munich, and that has somehow ended up in the back of the net, and our West Ham are going to be on the end of something very unfortunate here. Yes, they are. The goal is awarded by VAR, and West Ham, after all their chances, are absolutely kicking themselves now. It's a case of gung-ho, go attack, and go big or go home. We're going to stick Novelay up top as a complete forward next to Makoko. Rice is going to play the deep lying role, and we've stuck the wingers to attack a bit more as well, just to try and get a few more bodies up there and a few more bodies in the box. It's a go-to tactic of mine, but the time is really, really ticking on, and I feel as though little old West Ham are going to be FM'd a little bit here. We are going to bring Aaron Gorman on for Declan Rice. No, we're not, because we can't, because there's no more substitutions, because idiotic me didn't take a look that we'd already made our subs. The yellow card was just a little bit of a worry for Declan Rice there. And he wasn't having a good game either. He was having a really poor game. And as the time ticks away, there's 4 minutes added on. And can West Ham grab themselves an all-important late goal? Or will this be Bayern Munich taking the Super Cup back to Germany as they are through Shalamov? And Andre Gomez keeps West Ham in the game. But I think this is going to be it. I think it's all going to be a little bit too late for West Ham to take anything from the game. The corner comes in, it's well dealt with defensively, and we come back and get it. And Mokoko's on it. And if he was just to put a ball around the corner, there was a player there. He was ball greedy. So ball greedy. He just needed to put a ball around the corner and the player might have been in. 1 minute to go. West Ham are going to lose the Super Cup final and they're not going to win all 6 this season. And so those are the games done and dusted, gang. What did you make of them? Obviously, a win in one, a loss in the other. It does mean we can't win everything, unfortunately, this season. Bayern Munich, of all teams, after we sold them Kappa, they go and do the job and beat us in that Super Cup final. As you can see, though, the Premier League, very, very different. We are 100% at this point. We started, obviously, in the month of August with games against Newcastle, West Brom and Liverpool. A 4-0, a 3-1 and a 2-0. Really good stuff from the boys. We then go into the month of September and the month is still going. Obviously, I've bought this back at a bit of a weird time. I wanted to get the transfer window and whatnot done. But Arsenal and Leeds are the 2 teams we played in the Prem, and you'll see a 2-0 and a 3-1. We have started our Champions League group. I'll go through it all in a moment, but we've got a win for the first game, a 3-0 against Lyon. And then in the EFL third round, we won 6-1 against Manchester City, absolutely putting them to the sword. If I take you to the competitions, you're going to see we are currently second in the Premier League with a game in hand. We are in the Uefa Champions League group with Atletico Madrid, Red Star Belgrade and Lyon this season. Runners up in the Super Cup, winners of the Community Shield, and we're in the other competitions. This is just the start of the season. What we're going to do next time is bring you back in the January transfer window to see how things are going. And so just before we leave, because I haven't shown you the Hall of Fame list in some time, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see we are now on the proper worldwide Hall of Fame. We have made it into 19th position on 2,273 points. You'll see that we have 8 domestic divisions. We've got 4 domestic cups and 4 other trophies that are seen as kind of European trophies and that. So, yeah, we are doing absolutely phenomenal stuff at the moment. Obviously, our trophies from our time at Frotaretovic, Politecnica Timisoara and Graza are all on there, but it's the success at West Ham that's really helped us, jump onto the list and get going. Look at Vincent Kompany. Because he's been at Paris Saint-Germain and Man City, he's above us. That's unbelievable. It's taken us all this time, and Vincent Kompany's just jumped in there above us. But yeah, there's still work to do, a long way to go, but we're into the Worldwide Hall of Fame. And so there you have it, my friends. We are done for part 1 of this season of FM's Hall of Fame. I do hope you've enjoyed it, my friends. Let me know in the comment section below what you've made of it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're enjoying the content. I am going to be bringing out some more FM shorts to kind of test the waters, basically, with how this could work going forward. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it as well. I'd really appreciate it, gang. The more likes we get, the more likely I am to upload a lot more Football Manager content. But until next time, my friends, for part 2, saluting you all, stay safe, stay humble, and I will see you real soon.